Programming 12. I think that these platforms here, this green, it's okay. Like, it works fine. But I want to show you an alternative method, because gosh, it would get tiring to edit over and over again. All these different colors. So if you are down with it, I'm going to change this slightly. I'm actually not sure if I'm editing the right file, to be honest. I better double check. But I'm going to edit this slightly to make this easier for the project to move forward. If you don't want to make it easier for yourself, because it's hard to make things easy in programming sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, you got to do some think smarter, not harder. Then it's not a required feature, but I definitely want to show you because I think it's a good feature here. I am going to make it so it's all just one color of green. But as you know, like if I go over here, you can see that there's different tile sets being used. There's the intersection, there's the two end caps, there's sort of the middle points. And I realize that this isn't the right file because this is the one I'm loading from, but okay, whatever. So that's going to be something that we have to account for if we are going to just use a single color. But it's not hard to account for. Like, if I was to draw everything as just like one green color, let's say I did it like that. I don't know. It's an interesting wonky tree. How on earth would I know which one to use? Well, each different one has a context. Each different pixel here has a context. So for example, this end pixel, which should get this lovely end cap there, notice that I could look to the left one pixel over and check and see, hey, is that white? If it is, this is an end cap, because no other pixel, no other type of tile has a pixel on its left that's white. And same with the end cap here. For this one, I could take a look and see if the next one down is brown to make the intersection. And the one that's in the middle, I can just check if the left and the right are both green. And if they are, it's a middle piece. So that wouldn't be too hard to do. We could totally do that with code. So what does that do? What advantage does it give us? So if we go over to our code, well, we could clean up all these greens, right? All these greens are kind of ugly. Actually, I'm not really sure how to read this here. I don't know what that is, but I think I don't even know. I'm gonna have to estimate here. So this is one reason why I do not love this program. It doesn't give us the right or it doesn't give us the same information. But luckily I can see down here, green is maxed out. So it's 00FF00. So I guess that's probably it. Too bad that doesn't give you the hex color code. It gives you some other format, but it's not what we're using. So, I do happen to know that is the correct one though. So let's go over to here. So I know that this is the actual green that I'm using. So you know what? I can just simplify my code and make this green. I can get rid of these other greens, and all of a sudden things are a little bit easier. In fact, I think I will rename tree trunk green just to brown, or tree trunk brown just to brown. Anytime you can simplify things in programming, it's a good choice. I guess I already had a brown, so I'll just remove. I don't think I'm using that other brown. Okay, so there we go. So now we can go and change the code. So let's see. Now instead of, so I still got the black, the cyan, and then I have all these different greens. So this is sort of the intersection. This one here is a mid piece. This is west end cap. I don't know if that's one word or two. And this is an east end cap. Okay, so just to remind myself what's going on. Okay, so now instead of looking for these greens, I can just see if our current one is green. So if it's an intersection, I can check one below to make sure it's brown. Let's say and then what I can do is I can do this, and then I can just go change the Y value by 1 equals brown. It might be worthwhile to make this into a couple of variables. I probably need left and right, so maybe I'll do that. So maybe I'll just do color down. That might interfere. It's always hard. C down? I don't know. It's all kind of weak. Don't have a great one. Color down. I don't know. I'll put south. There we go. It's south. It's not really. This is 2D, but whatever. That's actually worse because whatever. So I'll just put image dot get x y plus 1. And I'll put this color below current pixel. This is color of current pixel. I'll do one on the left. Image.get, and to go to the left, it'll be x minus 1. So this would be color, I guess we'll do west, because my other terms are. Oh yeah, so actually S, so this would be W, wouldn't it? West of current pixel. And then color E equals image.get, so this would be x plus 1. Color of color east of current pixel. All right, so now that I have this, I can make this a little bit nicer. I can just say this would be south. I don't really need north. None of the context requires that. So if I found green and below it's brown, I know what's going on. Otherwise, if I found green, this is the mid piece, and west equals green, and oh yeah, actually I just thought of something. I'll just finish my thought here. So west is green and east is green. Then I will have a mid piece, and then last but not least, if I found a green pixel, or actually there's 2 more. So this is a west end cap, so I can check if west is white. West equals white. I suppose it could be some other pixel there. I could just say not green. Would be actually a pretty good way to do it, hey? Because then I can have a brick there or something like that, and then the thing can end. So I can say if it's not green, that could trigger it. And then same with if we have the east end cap, we can check to see if our current pixel is green, and east is not equal to green. Then I guess we have that there. Okay, now I realized that while I was doing this, there is a little bit of a problem. And that is, if I were to do, let's see, doing these is a little bit dangerous because sometimes my x or y will be 0. And so if I do -1, I guess for x in particular, then I'll get in trouble. Or y could be at the bottom of our picture. Now, I don't know if that actually fails. We'll try to run it and see. I think processing may handle that for us, but we'll double check. So just give me a moment here. Okay, folks. So let's see what worked and what didn't work. I think we'll find it actually handles nicely going beyond the bounds. It doesn't hurt us. So let's see what worked and what didn't work. Okay, so mostly worked, but yeah, there is a flaw in our logic, isn't there? So our intersection didn't work, and the end caps worked, the middle piece worked, everything worked using just one color. It almost looks like a shadow there, so it's not bad. But let's analyze why that didn't work. So we'll see that the intersection happens, but it looks like our mid piece is also true for our intersection. Interesting, hey? So that unfortunately did not work so well. I think the easiest way to solve this is just make all these if-elses. Oh, but then... No, that's good. That's good. I think this order will work pretty well. Because what happened was, we found the brown pixel. We made an intersection, but then we probably also noticed that intersections have green on their east and west flank. So then we put another one of those on top. So I guess we'll just make these else's, and that way you can't have 2 happen. So I'll just stick else in front of them. And I don't think we'll ever have a situation where we want two pieces of terrain loaded on top of each other. I could be wrong, but I doubt that's going to be a concern. Okay, and then our last else. Oops. All right, let's see. Yeah, that's so much better. Oh, I feel much better. So this is the work smarter, not harder way. Now, if I wanted to go draw another, tree, and I think I switched over to back to pixel art. I could just go check this out. I'll draw a tree. I'll grab the. Oh, it's so painful to save. Let's do it anyways. Let's say I want to make sort of another level of the tree. I can just go do. And I can put on the green now. Let's grab green. And I can put on the green. And I could keep, I could keep do this. I could do this all day, to keep going. But it's so much faster. Unfortunately, saving is not so easy, I'm afraid. So I have to export, download. I don't know if there's an easier way. If you find an easier way, let me know. I just click download PNG, but then it downloads it as this sort of default name. So then I have to go over here. I have to rename it. Oh, and it opens automatically when I try to rename it. Yeah, still learning how to use a Mac, to be honest. I'll put this as level 1, and then I drag it over and replace. Yeah, I do dearly miss Windows sometimes, especially with pixel art. I'm sure there's superior choices. I just don't know them in the Mac ecosystem. So if I just run this now, you can see there. See, another tree has grown, and it's really quite easy. So I've done this kind of a little bit of more careful thinking to make this work nicely. Okay, so I would use that for future examples of structures in your platformer game that have multiple components in terms of their tile set. So we'll see that in a few other things coming forward. So this is probably the superior way. All right, thanks everybody.